I'm on the very last step of my whole kitchen reduce, reorganize, refresh. We're on the refresh piece, and I am going to paint my kitchen cabinets. I picked out this really pretty green. I saw this in a Country Living article. I liked this color, so we're gonna give it a try. And I hope I don't hate it when we're done. Hey friends, welcome back to Harvest Moon Farm. My name is Mickey, and on my channel we focus on everything homesteading. So cooking and baking, we do gardening, we do a lot of food preservation. We have chickens and goats and ducks. And so we focus on all of that homesteading activity that I love so much. Today we are going to start on the refresh portion of my 3-part kitchen redo series. I'm going to paint my cabinets, and first what I need to do is just give them a good wipe down. So because this is the kitchen, Kitty, please stop. The kitty likes the tripod and she likes to rub against it. First thing we want to do is just wipe down all of our surfaces that we're going to paint. Because this is the kitchen, things get greasy. This side not so much, but I'm still going to wipe everything down. But I just want to give them, make sure that we've got all the grease off of everything. One of my sisters has offered to come and help me this weekend, so I want to get this piece done before she gets here so that we can focus on the actual painting. So this side, because it's less in the greasy area of the kitchen, I'm just going to give them a nice wipe down, make sure they're clean. Then I'll move to the other side and really scrub down those areas of the island so that our paint sticks and we don't have grease marks on our painted surfaces. So I'm just using a dishwashing soap that's made for cutting through grease. So I think mine is, I don't know what mine is off the top of my head, but like Dawn, any of those dish soaps that are supposed to be good at cutting through grease would be perfect for this activity. And I'm not going to paint the insides of my cabinets, of my cabinet doors, but I figure since I'm down here scrubbing them, I might as well give everything a good wipe while I'm at it. So I just want to make sure that there's no dust, no splatters. I mean, we all know how our kitchen cabinets can get between cooking and baking and just, everybody being in the kitchen. It's really easy for them to get kind of dirty. To do this for a while. The flooring, it's a laminate flooring, but it's brownish, as you can see. My cabinets are brown, the trim is brown, the door is brown, the furniture I have in my living room is brown. So this is all one big open area, and even though we have lots of windows, obviously you guys can tell from the light coming in that kitchen window, even though it's very light in here, it's bright because of the sunlight coming in, I feel like everything's brown and I just want some color. So this end has got a little more on it because this is the end that I typically make a mess in when I'm cooking. this and then the front side of the island, or the side facing into the kitchen. There's also some cat hair. I don't know where that came from, little Missy. And I'm really glad that my sister offered to help, because this is going to be a big job. It doesn't seem like a lot of cabinets when I'm trying to find space for my stuff, but when I'm thinking about painting it, it's a lot. So this side of the island is going to be the dirtiest, because of course this is where I stand when I'm baking or cooking. So I've got flour and all kinds of stuff on here. And I didn't realize, honestly, how nicked up these cabinet fronts are. So painting them hopefully is gonna give them a nice fresh look. So we got the island all wiped off. And some of this, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. Like, do I want to paint this green as well, or do I leave it brown? I don't know. This is where my sister will be a big help too, in helping me make some decisions about this, where I'm unsure. I'll probably paint it. I need to get a stool and get up there and wipe that. But this is the area that's, that's greasy from being right here by the stove. These will probably have to be wiped down again before we start, because I'll probably end up dropping flour or something on them. I did buy some painter's tape so that I can, like here, cover up this glass. Even though we could probably get the paint off the glass pretty easily, but it's better if I don't get any on there. So I do still need to get a stool and do those areas up there that I can't really reach, but we'll do that before we start on Saturday. I got my paint from Lowe's, and I talked to the person in the paint department, and I told him what I was doing, because I didn't know like what I would need, and he suggested that I also do a coat of like a Kills, basically coat, a white base coat. And this is probably one of the grossest ones, being right in front of the sink. And honestly, as I'm doing this, the cabinets are dusty, but they're not as greasy as I expected them to be. I've got all these wiped down. We may have to do a little wipe down as we get ready to start that first coat of white paint. But this will be good, and I do still have to get on a stool and clean some of this upper pieces. But I'm so excited to finally be getting this done. So we'll be starting the actual painting project on Saturday. So I'll be back when we get ready to start that. All right, so after a super chaotic start to our day, we are finally getting going on this painting. So right here, we've decided we're going to go ahead and start by putting up some painter's tape around the cabinets on the surfaces that are painted. I have a lot of tile and stuff around my stove and around the edges of my countertops, but we want to make sure we protect the painted surfaces. So we're doing that. We're talking about what we think the best process would be. And then Laura keeps taping, and I decide to go ahead and start taking the handles off all of the doors and cabinets, which is something I should have done before she got there. But so while Laura is
putting up more tape, I get a screwdriver and start removing the hardware from all of the cabinets. And it came off pretty easily. So we just took the handles and put them on the counter so we didn't lose them.
Okay, so we're making some headway on the base coat, the primer coat. My brother-in-law, my sister that's helping, her husband came in and showed us how to take the cabinet doors off because we weren't sure. And so that's making things a lot easier because we were trying to paint around them and that was terrible, bad idea. So we're doing a good job getting this first coat done, so then we'll just have to let it dry before we can start on the actual green paint that I picked, which might not be today. But we'll see how far we get because we have a whole lot of doors to paint still. So we've started putting some of the green on in places. So like this cabinet here, the base, or why do I keep calling it a base? The primer was dry, and oh my gosh, this looks so pretty. It's definitely gonna need a second coat of green, but that's okay. So we've got most of the cabinets themselves have had their first coat of the green. We've got a few doors that we've got the primer on, but I don't have enough space with the animals to be able to paint all the doors at once. So I think once I get the 2 coats on the actual the cabinets themselves, then I'll start working on these doors, and then as each set of doors dries, we'll go ahead and put them back up and then paint the next set so that we have room to work. So Laura, you want to come over here for a second? So I'm still painty, but thank you. All right, so my sister and I got to a certain point. We stopped. We went and had a late lunch, early dinner, and they went on home. And then Joe and I finished the second coat of the green paint, and we've got some of the doors ready. So we're going to go ahead and hang the doors. Everything's dry now that we've got painted. So we're going to go ahead and hang the doors that are dry. Okay, so should we put them back on and then put the handles on?
Yes.
Okay. So all of these are here. A little bit. This one. a noodle on it.
I think since you're holding it, it's a little bit easier to do it like this one.
So it's the next morning now, and all of the cabinet doors that we painted last night are dry. So we are going around the kitchen, hanging them all back up, putting the hardware back on. And one thing that when I first started putting the hardware on, it's a bronzy color, and I thought that I might want to swap it out for like a brushed nickel or something like that. But when we stepped back away from the kitchen, the bronzy actually looks really nice. It matches the faucet and the hardware like in the sink. So I think I'm going to leave it. If I change my mind later on, then I can go ahead and just swap it out for some hardware with a different finish, maybe a brushed nickel or some other silver tone. So this cabinet door with the glass in the middle was the only one we couldn't make room for on the island last night when we were kind of painting those in an assembly line. So I am taking a little bit of time here to kind of tape off the glass. I did get a little bit of paint on the glass where it seeped underneath the tape, but that's pretty easy to take off with a razor blade. So I've taped that off. I'm going to go ahead and get it painted so that it can get done and get dried so I can hang that back up, and then we'll have all of the cabinets finished in the kitchen.
Thanks to all the help I had from my sister and my husband, I was actually able to get all of my kitchen cabinets painted over the weekend, and it didn't have to drag on for a whole week like I was afraid it might need to. I do still need to paint the island, but I wanted to get the kitchen cabinets done first so that I had one whole piece of the project done. And I wasn't sure I was going to paint the island, but when I sat in the living room and looked across, I think it definitely needs to be painted. And I know I said I was so worried that I was not going to like it when it was done, but I absolutely love it. So let's take a look. Okay, so on this side we have over the refrigerator and the pantry area to the right of that refrigerator section. And then we've got all those cabinets up there. I finished that one glass doored cabinet yesterday. There are all of those cabinets. I really think the camera view is not going to do it justice. If you guys could be in my kitchen with me, you would see just how amazing it really does look. And the light is a little weird because it's still really early in the morning, but you can kind of see that the dark of the island will look much better if I go ahead and paint it. So I have a lot of stuff on my counters because I'm in the middle of several other projects, but I hope you guys can see what a change that made to the kitchen. And I called this video my refresh video, but honestly I feel like maybe I should have called it my transformation video. It's so pretty. I could not stop looking at it yesterday. Okay friends, so that is going to do it for this video. That's also going to end my 3-part series where we did a kitchen declutter, a kitchen reorganization, and then the cabinet painting. I love the way it turned out. I'm glad that I took the time to do this whole project. I'm just amazed at the results. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comments what you think. So if you missed either of the first 2 videos where I went through my cabinets and just kind of decluttered some things, got rid of some things, or the second video where I went through and we reorganized the cabinets and drawers, I'll go ahead and link those below so that you can watch them. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Thanks guys.